Hello, I just wanted to make a quick video here before I go trim my fingernails to talk about joint pain in like my fingers and wrists and long fingernails and compression stockings. Um, I not only keep my fingernails trimmed short so that they don't go through my stockings, but also because if you see, here's a touch screen. If you're trying to use the touch screen, normally you would put your finger like this, but because my fingernail is so long, I end up doing this in order to use the touch screen. Can you see that? You see how much my finger's bent backwards? And then if I decide, oh gosh, I don't want to bend my finger back that much, then I do this. And if I'm holding the phone normally, then I end up with like this kind of wrist thing, or like because I'm like trying to use the touch screen and there's a fingernail in the way, so it bends the one joint, and then if you decide, oh, you don't want to bend that joint, then you have to bend something. Something has to bend because you can't just directly use the touch screen like that because you have a fingernail in the way. And so I wanted to point that out for using a touch screen, for using a keyboard and typing. I don't even know like if that's, I don't think that's painting related, but like if you normally would do like that and then instead your fingers like this. But just be aware of like bending your joints backwards too far, wrists, little finger joints. And then when you go to trim your fingernails, also make sure that you are holding the muscles within the finger tight and not like letting your finger joints get jostled around as you're doing the whole process, that your wrists are not being bent like backwards in a weird, I can't even show you that with this one, in a weird way. Like just be aware of what it is that you're doing as you're going about doing that, and recognize that you might need to keep your fingernails short so that your fingers and wrists and little joints in them don't hurt. I'm going to also trim my toes today because it's been a couple of months since I've done those, and those are really tough. I would definitely recommend getting toenail clippers for your toes. And then if you have really strong fingernails, like I do, but you have wrist strength issues, so you have a really hard time with like using the fingernail clippers, you can use toenail clippers on your fingernails. Or you can get bigger fingernail clippers instead of like tiny ones. Like there are options for that. The other thing is if you're finding that your nail is kind of being creased by the nail clipper, but it's not actually cutting your nail, that might be because you need new nail clippers. Like mine were 10 years old and I was really, really struggling with them. And at one point, I don't remember, I think I was sitting outside and my brother used them for a second because I was doing my nails, and then he was like needing to trim his fingernail or something. It was like there was, I don't know, a snack or something. And he was like, this, I don't know how you're cutting your fingernails with these. These are completely worn out. And I was like, I didn't know you could wear out, like, I don't remember if he pointed out that they were worn out or we told Mom about this. And she was like, oh, your fingernail clippers are worn out, obviously. It's been a while since that happened, but like your fingernail clippers can get worn out. And if you have worn out fingernail clippers, that's going to make it so much harder to trim your fingernails, especially with wrist strength issues. Yeah, and then I tend to find, this is probably more related to compression stockings, but like the edges, and maybe I just like don't get them trimmed properly, will end up getting sharp again. And just like file again, like after a couple of days, just use a nail file on them again. You can also get, there's packages of nail files. Excuse me, my plant's in the way. It's like completely grown around my nail files. That's how long it's been. Okay, you can keep that one. Okay. This came in a set of 3, and it's interesting. Apparently there's not one type of nail file. I know things. And there's 3 different levels in this set. There's like the rough one to like get rid of the whatever. and then make it smoother. And then there's like the buffing kind, and then there's one that's like at the end, it's like a shine one. I had so much fun. Like last time I did my nails, I used the shine one and made my nails look like I'd put nail polish on them. I don't know how far you want to go on that, or if it's good for them. But something like this, where you get this extra one that's like this really smooth surface, can help to make sure that your nails are definitely smooth for like not snagging your stockings. I wore those stick-on nails for like a week last year. They were the most fun, like prettiest thing ever, but there's something about long fingernails, and I think it's the bending back of the finger, that I just didn't realize at the time was going to be such a thing. But I did learn while wearing those for a week how to not put my fingernails through my stockings. Because for some reason, there was this like subconscious thing where it's so much worse to be wearing fake nails and like put them through your stockings. And like, I was so afraid of that happening that it didn't happen. And because of that, like I don't know, I just learned how to go about putting on the stockings without putting my fingers through them or catching anything. And I'm mostly better about it now, and maybe it's because I've just been wearing them for so long. But that's definitely a thing that requires practice and experience, because you'll be like, oh, well, now I know not to pull that hard next time on that certain area. Or like, I don't know, I found gathering them up at the knee and then like pulling a little bit, rotating your ankle, kind of gets the extra stuff that's around your ankle up without having to pull them all the way down. And then kind of using just this part of my thumb and working them up the rest of the way. Every single time I go to the bathroom, I have to go to the bathroom every hour because I have to drink lots of water because I have POTS. Anyway, that was the video I wanted to make. I hope this is filming. Because I keep the screen so dark because I get headaches otherwise, that I never know for sure. Anyway, hope that's helpful. If you have anything that you're like, hey, this is kind of related and this might help you, I would love to know that. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.